big result for them. Alexis McAllister's goal, the difference between the two sides. And Liverpool, well, lots of questions to ask about them. Same could be said for Real Madrid as well. Let's welcome in our panel for this evening. We have Jurgen Klinsmann with us and Stuart Robson as well. I must start with you though, Stevie. Is this the best Liverpool we've seen this season?
Listen, you couldn't have dreamt, if you were anybody connected with Liverpool today, you couldn't have dreamt the way they played. I mean, quite frankly, they outplayed Real Madrid for the majority of the game. Little spells where Real Madrid had some possession, but this was all about Liverpool going forward. You know, we've been talking about who's to blame for Liverpool's poor performances. Is it the players? Is it the manager? Well, today, everybody gets the praise because the players absolutely turned up tonight. Defensively, they were great. The middle of the park, they were fantastic. That three of McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai were outstanding. Szoboszlai in the first half was absolute world class. And Arne Slot, in my opinion, got this absolutely 100% right because nobody expected him to play Wirtz. I certainly didn't. And I guess because of the Real Madrid setup, because they had nothing down that right-hand side, Liverpool's left, and so he could play Wirtz. And Wirtz was allowed to drift. And he just got in positions and he knitted everything together. Him and Szoboszlai passing and moving. It was dreamsville for Liverpool in this game. To pick, of all games, to produce your best performance of the season at home to Real Madrid, big-time game, and boy, did they deserve it. 1-0 it finished, it should have been 3 or 4.
What did you make of Liverpool tonight, Robbo?
They played well after the first 20 minutes, I would say. There was a little period in the game where Real Madrid had a bit of possession, but they didn't really create anything with that possession. And you thought that maybe Liverpool were frightened of the game. They were dropping deeper. They were going to try and play on the counter-attack. But as soon as they had the penalty disallowed, it changed the game completely. Suddenly they were on the front foot, they were winning balls in midfield, they were breaking quickly, they were getting balls into the box, they were winning headers, they were winning every 50-50 challenge, they defended well. So after that first 20-25 minutes, when I think they were a little bit worried about the game and what Real Madrid had, after that, they were the better team, there's no doubt about it. And when you saw the highlights there, it just summed it up. Lots of highlights, not much going on for Real Madrid.
A deserved win for Liverpool for you, Jurgen?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they had a majority of the chances. Real Madrid looked a little bit flat, you know, and I thought it was a fantastic performance by Liverpool at the right time. Now, obviously, they had a bit of a bumpy road over the last couple of weeks. A lot of question marks, you know, in Liverpool, but this was a fantastic response, you know, for players and for the coach. Obviously, was enjoyable to watch. And I was obviously very pleased that he played Florian Wirtz. Stevie said he didn't expect him to play. And and I think the kid showed up. You know, he did fantastic kind of sequences within the game. He didn't score, obviously, but he's growing. You know, he's a young kid. And I think, you know, going forward, you know, he will grow with every game. Also, the games where he maybe didn't play so well. And I think there will be a lot to be seen by Florian Wirtz in the near future.
What was wrong with Real Madrid tonight, Ale?
Well, where do we start? Let me start with the manager and the personnel decision that he made. In having Camavinga sort of playing up high on the right-hand side, at least for the first half, that was never going to work. I don't know how Xabi Alonso and his staff get together and say, you know, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Camavinga, who's naturally a left-sided player or naturally a left-footed player, and who's not an attacking player naturally, is not what he does best. We're going to put him high, wide, and right. That limits what Real Madrid could do down the right-hand side. And I think Stevie just mentioned and alluded to the fact that given the fact that Real Madrid was so limited down the right-hand side, it's almost as if they were playing on one half of the field. Yeah, if you look at the field vertically, it's like they were playing like this, tilted to the left. Everything was going towards Vini. Everything was going towards Mbappe coming from the left-hand side. Everything was coming perhaps from Bellingham. There was no presence on that right-hand side. And so Camavinga wasn't giving you any sort of width, wasn't giving you any sort of depth, wasn't giving you anything on the right. And so then he started drifting inside, which then just left that left-hand side all open for Liverpool, I should say. That's on the tactical part, and I don't understand how that made sense in Xabi Alonso's head. I see what's happening, and I go, well, I just don't see the same picture, and I don't see the reasoning either. But he did it. Liverpool took advantage of it. Beyond that, if Real Madrid are going to go into Anfield and win a game, then you need to have a presence in the midfield that's strong enough to match up with guys like Szoboszlai, who was excellent, to match up with guys like Florian Wirtz, who was excellent, to match up with guys like McAllister, who scored a goal and was controlling the game alongside Szoboszlai. Real Madrid, without any sort of structure in the midfield, got exposed, which then means that the service into Mbappe gets cut out. He gets impatient and starts drifting everywhere except down the middle, where he has been most successful this season. And then Vini on the left-hand side, who should be a game changer for you, was not today, was largely ineffective, and was controlled very well by Conor Bradley. Other than that, Real Madrid was great today.
As soon as Liverpool scored the goal, actually, Mbappe, you could see him thinking, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm going to come back to the halfway line and get the ball, and then I'm going to try and beat 10 people. I mean, it was kind of schoolboyish to watch him, because he just had enough of no service, no ball, nothing, running around, not getting close to anybody, just invisible. Actually, pretty much like most of the Real Madrid side.
Robbo, it was put to Xabi Alonso after the game that they were outplayed by Liverpool, and he said he didn't think so. He thought that they competed well in this game.
Well, they competed, but not very well. And going back to Ali's point, one of the reasons that he had to play Camavinga out on the right-hand side is because he doesn't trust Bellingham as a central midfield player. If you play Rodrigo out on the right-hand side and Vinny Jr. out on the left-hand side and Mbappe up front, then you have two central midfielders or three central midfielders, and one of them has to be Bellingham. But because he doesn't want to run back and he doesn't want to get around the pitch as much as he should do, and he wants to be a number 10, somehow Xabi Alonso tried to fit him in the team. And that just backfired against him. So they didn't compete well enough. And as the boys said, Mbappe wanted to go here, there and everywhere except in between the two centre-halves where he can be most threatening. And Vinny Jr. was completely outplayed by Conor Bradley. You know, they just weren't good enough tonight.
Did Xabi Alonso get it wrong tonight, Jurgen?
Well, his challenge is really to get the players in their best spots. You know, if you have so many superstars in your team and you're getting forced to put them on the field, you kind of make some sacrifices in certain positions. And Camavinga, obviously, as you rightfully say, he's not a right winger. He's lost out there. And if you have Bellingham in the middle, then you need to have somebody covering his back basically when he goes forward. And so, but you have these big names and you have to put them on the field. Now, to put them together on the field all in the right position is very difficult, because we know that Mbappe loves to come from the left wing, going into the middle, drifting into the middle. Same with Vinicius Jr. And so he will throughout the entire year, he will have these issues, these problems, you know, to get his superstars in their best positions where they can excel. On the other hand, also when you have forward players like he has, then you need some cover. You need people that, you know, protect your back four, your back line. Otherwise, you're too open, and this is exactly what happened today. You know, their right side then became an area for Liverpool to attack. Wirtz took advantage of it. Other players took advantage of it, and then you struggle. So this is something that Xabi Alonso will have to figure out over the next couple of months.